In the early days of the Sikh faith, leadership never passed down through a bloodline or a bank account. It passed its flame based on a strict metaphysical requirement, finding an individual who carried the exact, egoless spiritual light of the founder, Guru Nanak. For the aging third Guru, Guru Amar Das Ji, finding that individual was becoming an urgent problem. He had to select a successor, and the choice came down to his two highly capable sons-in-law, Bhai Rama and Bhai Jeta. The pressure of this decision was absolute. Whoever stepped into the role had to perfectly reflect the divine perspective of the faith. They could hold no personal ambition, they could hold no pride, and absolutely no sense of self-importance. But how do you measure an invisible spiritual purity? You cannot put humility on a scale. You have to engineer an impossible psychological test to draw it out into the light. To understand how the younger son-in-law, Bhai Jeta, would handle that test, we have to look at how he started. He grew up in extreme destitution, orphaned in Lahore before he even turned 10 years old. Left completely to fend for himself, a young Jeta survived by wandering the streets every single day, selling simple boiled grains, called gungrian, just to avoid starvation. This chart visualizes a core spiritual concept here. Normally, intense trauma and poverty push a person toward a red path of resentment, anger, or criminality. But Jeta processed his struggle differently. His suffering acted as a filter, removing his ego and leading him down the glowing path of Bairak, a profound spiritual detachment from the material world. His childhood destitution acted as a furnace. By the time he reached the Guru's court as an adult, the streets of Lahore had already burned away his pride, preparing him for the challenge that was about to come. The test Guru Amar Das Ji devised appeared entirely mundane. He called both of his sons-in-law and ordered them to each build a simple mud platform, a thada, for him to sit upon. The two men spent the day hauling earth and mixing mud. By sunset, both had constructed excellent, structurally sound platforms ready for inspection. The Guru walked up, looked at their hard work, and immediately declared both platforms completely unworthy. He ordered the men to tear them down to the ground. The next day, he ordered them to build the platforms again. And again, at sunset, he told them it was terrible and forced them to destroy it. This exhausting cycle of construction and immediate, unexplained destruction repeated relentlessly, day after day. The Guru was entirely unconcerned with masonry skills. He was hunting for the exact breaking point of human pride under the weight of unfair criticism. Eventually, the friction broke by Rama. His ego fractured under the constant rejection. He internally rebelled, arguing that his platform was perfect and concluding that the aging Guru's mind was simply failing him. Bhai Jeta's reaction stood in stark contrast. Instead of harboring anger at the repeated failure, he fell to the Guru's feet. He accepted complete responsibility, apologizing for his own inadequate intellect and his inability to grasp what the Guru truly wanted. At that moment, the Guru ended the test. He explained that he was never looking for a physical structure made of earth. He was searching for the true platform of the heart, a mind completely free of arrogance. Seeing this radical humility, Guru Amar Das Ji embraced Jeta and elevated him to become the fourth Sikh Guru, naming him Guru Ramdas Ji. Ultimate spiritual authority in this tradition is reserved exclusively for those who have completely emptied themselves of self-importance. Guru Ramdas Ji scaled the internal lesson of the mud platform into a massive physical reality. Upon assuming leadership, he immediately transitioned from spiritual contemplation to urban planning, designing a physical epicenter for his people. He established a settlement known as Guru Ka Chak and personally oversaw the arduous excavation of a massive water basin, the Amrit Sarovar, or the Pool of Nectar. He laid the geographic and conceptual foundation for what we now know as the Harimandir Sahib, the Golden Temple, in the heart of modern-day Amritsar. The city itself was engineered to mirror his internal theology. He designed it as an open, egalitarian space where powerful kings and ascetic beggars could sit side by side on the ground as absolute equals. To frame his enduring philosophy, look at this illustration. Guru Ramdas Ji taught that external religious rituals, good deeds, and musical worship are merely golden seeds. But a seed cannot grow on dry rock. For those actions to take root, they require the fertile soil of a completely pure, egoless heart. Without that internal purity, he warned, bowing your head and performing physical acts of devotion accomplishes absolutely nothing. The destitute orphan selling boiled grains in the streets of Lahore grew up to architect a global spiritual center. His legacy proves that true permanence isn't built with hands, but upon the invisible, unshakable platform built within the human heart.